Well, we're gonna need to have a talk about this particular truck and why it is coming back into the shop and what I had to do with this. This is a customer experience that I want to talk about and why the visit to the dealership has really put a thorn in this customer's ass. Let's talk. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. I want to talk about this truck and what happened to it. This has been on the channel, and in fact, this is the truck that I put the S&B module in. And it has to come back. Unfortunately, when I was doing that repair, the customer indicated to me that the AC didn't work. How is that possible? It's a 2020, what is this, a 20 what? 24? 13,000 miles and the AC doesn't work? Well, what happened? So I started looking, didn't see anything, a green oily in front of the truck coming from the AC compressor. And before I hooked the machine up, let me hook up FDRS and look at the AC pressure pid, and it said it had like 11 psi in it. Well, how is that? Is the AC pressure sensor bad, or do we in fact not have any refrigerant? Well, I looked it over and I couldn't see any visual leaks. I did not put the machine on it because this was warranty and the customer wound up, taking it to the dealer. But while I was under there, I'm looking at the oil pan. I'm like, why do I see some orange? Well, diesel oil is gonna be what color? It's gonna be black. What color is gonna be orange underneath the vehicle? That's gonna be transmission fluid. Well, where the bell housing seam is to the upper oil pan rear cover, you could see iridescent shininess of orange colored fluid that is only going to be coming from someplace, and it's got to be the transmission. So now we have a 24 with 13,000 miles with a transmission fluid leak and no AC. Well, these are some of the times at which I wish I was still at the dealership, not because I'm at the dealership, but because I want to take care of these vehicles and not have these customers have nonsense every time they want to take in their investment or something that they've waited their whole life to get. There shouldn't be any type of rigmarole when this happens. I want to bring my truck in, I want it fixed, I want somebody competent enough to work on it, and is that really anything to ask for? Should I ask for that, or should that just be happening every time I bring my truck in? So I'm gonna back this thing up just a smidgy widgy, and I'm not used to the parking brake yet, the electronicness. We're gonna lift this thing up, and the customer is back because he wants us to inspect the vehicle over with what the dealership did. This truck was at the dealership for over a month. No, a month or over a month? This truck was at the dealership for a month or over a month? It was there for a month. Did they make the payment? I don't think so. Did they give any type of compensation? No. Would they be giving some type of compensation? Were they waiting on backordered parts? Were they waiting on incompetent technicians? Did we not fix it right the first time? Shit happens. I get it. I'll be the first one to admit. I get it. But I think a month for an AC problem and a trans leak, if we had backordered parts, I could totally substantiate that. But I think we got a little excessiveness going on, and it was brought to my attention that they had to replace the AC condenser right up front. The whole front of this truck would have had to come off, and the transmission needed to be removed. Now, I had a transmission fluid leak in the bell housing. In the bell housing is where the fluid would have been coming from and leaking at that seam. What inside the bell housing is going to leak? We have the torque converter. We have the pump seal. Those two things can allow fluid to enter the bell housing where it's just supposed to be an air void of space. It's not supposed to contain any fluid, any pressure. It's just atmospheric pressure. And it's hot. And there's a big thing with a lot of rotational mass spinning very, very fast. So they get the transmission down and have to rebuild the inside, something with the 3-4, what did the customer tell me? The 3-4, I can't remember. What did he say? Some mount or something inside the transmission, and it was causing too much movement, and that's why it was leaking transmission fluid into the bell housing. I need to know a hell of a lot more information before I can really have that sink in. I want to know exactly. I want to see the technician's comments and the fact of the matter, because I know it happens because I've seen it happen. Just because you got your paperwork and it said XYZ, it does not mean that XYZ happened. XYZ was written and documented and stated because that is how the dealerships are supposed to get paid from One American Road. Well, don't you think that the story should reflect exactly what is happening? 100%. But do you think the dealership, if they had a mess up or an inconsistency or a misdiagnosis, they're going to want to submit a warranty claim? That's not how it works. I'm paraphrasing because I haven't been around the environment for 2.5 years. But when I was there, it was constantly drilled into us the cost per vehicle visit and how many times that vehicle visits in a certain amount of period of time. Ford's got a formula or a chart, up in the cloud. And if a vehicle comes in for service and has a warranty repair and it comes back within a certain amount of time, it's considered a repeat repair. But repeat repairs you're not supposed to get paid on because it's a repeat repair because it's either a misdiagnosis or a bad part. But then you substantiate a bad component and then it winds up being a service part warranty and you're eligible to get paid on that. There is so many things that you guys don't understand that go behind the scenes, that go on behind the scenes in order for you to get your truck completed, fixed, repaired, and hopefully back to you in an allotted amount of time. Just because your paperwork says XYZ, I'm telling you right now verbatim, that is not the case. There may be other things that happened between X, Y, and Z that aren't stated. I know there is. I've had it happen. I've had it had presented in front of me. This is what happens in the dealership environment. This model of business, it's not working anymore because of all of these. You got to do this, and you got to do this, and then you got to do this, but I got to get over here. But then I skipped all of this. All of these things have to happen for the technician to fix your truck. I have to get paid. I have a family to feed. I have a mortgage to pay. I have a truck payment. I got a phone payment. I have to fill my vehicle with gas. I have to get paid, but I got to do all this nonsense. So now that you guys know all that, what was going through the repairing technician's day? What was their diagnostic process? What happened to this truck? Why was it in there for a month? The only thing I care about right now, let it be in there for a month, but it better have been fixed right the first time. Whatever happened between X, Y, and Z, I don't give two rat's patoots. It better be fixed right. And that's what we're going to check today, because this is a brand new truck, and there should be no clip, no fastener, nothing misadjusted, and everything should be accounted for. And the trans, that's going to have to be lifted up. We're going to have to get suited up. Got to have my favorite gloves on. We're purple. All right, let's go over the front of this truck. I want to look at every clip. Now you guys might be asking, hey Rod, who brings their vehicle back and looks at every freaking clip? I do. It was there from the factory. It was non-marred from the factory. I expect it to be not marred after the service visit. Okay, the whole front of this stuff would have had to come off. I don't want no rattling. How did he pry everything off? Why was it there for a month? They said that they had to take the fuel tank down, lowered it so that they could get the transmission out. Is that really what they did? Did they take the whole fuel tank down? Did they lower? Did they do what they said they did? Looks fresh. I will say it looks fresh. But we didn't see any leaks before, and they wound up replacing the AC condenser. Does that sound weird to you guys? I don't know. Did they guess? Here we are underneath. I'm going to lift this thing up, but I just wanted to get a quick underside. I don't know. I'm pleased with what I see so far. I hate to be, a negative Nancy right off the rip, but I will say 95% of the time that I hear stories from you guys, it's nothing, and I mean nothing, bold, italicized, underlined, nothing positive from the dealer. Like, I don't understand. And I try not to let it bug me, but this is the last place that you're supposed to bring your vehicle, your Ford vehicle, to get fixed, and you can't. Or you do, and you're wondering for a month, what are they doing with my truck? That shouldn't have to be in the cost of ownership of the truck. If that's the case, drop the truck's GD price and give me no warranty, and I'll take it and fix it where I want. And if that's the case, if you're going to charge me no warranty, then use that money that you're paying for that warranty, you're charging all of us, give me a frickin' dipstick tube. Give me, what else do you want on these trucks that they took away from us? All that other malarkey, you guys down there with Cracker Jack box engineering degrees, you know who I'm talking about. And if you guys are getting butthurt because I called it that, it is truth. You wonder why these guys, these technicians, can't stand these engineers. Well, yes, I know it looks great on paper and the cost savings and all this stuff. Stop. Just stop. There's a reason why I don't have engineering degree. You ain't gonna catch me engineering and being part of something that I'm not gonna have any choice in the matter to control. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. All about filling their pockets. You got a guy, several people who have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and deal with nonstop problems when they go to the Ford dealer. Being that I'm in Michigan and Texas is as far away as it is, the only Ford dealership that I could see myself going to, maybe even working for, wish they would have been closer at that time, is Whiteface Ford in Texas. Guy seems super cool, nice place, facility looks clean, and it looks like he really takes care of his employees. And that's really important to me. Lift this thing up. Did they take the fuel tank down? We're about to see. About to see. Lift points. Okay, we're going up. Let's check this one right here. Okay, we're good. We lay down, we can see all four corners. All four corners are good. Going up. I like to get about an inch off the ground. Okay, tire spinning. And we give it a little joust. The whole front of this would have had to come off. I'm sure they didn't leave this on. That would have had to come off. Pusher, banks, or PPE? What are you guys choosing? All right, I'm gonna lift this thing up, get it up in the air. This is Mr. Ford. This is the customer. And I got him mic'd up, and a lot of this, is me talking about how this makes me feel. And as an independent repairing technician. A lot of you guys don't hear from the customer side on how this makes them feel. And especially being there a month, getting the vehicle back and finding both coolant jugs low and with barely any coolant in them. How does that make you feel, Mr. Customer?
Pretty angry, actually. Spent $100,000 for a truck, and you expect that, okay, if you're going to drain my coolant system, that you're going to test drive it, get the air bubbles out of it. Basically returned to me as I dropped it off. Bottles were full when I dropped it off. Same thing with the oil. I came back, picked up the truck, they didn't indicate to me that I was low on oil from them dropping the oil filter housing, and it turned out I was 4 quarts low on oil that I added to it.
Let's get a light. We need a luminosity. First time being underneath it except for the front end, just like you guys saw me lay underneath. But here we are, first impressions. New trans cooler. That is spanking brand new. That was something you were worried about, wasn't it?
Correct, yep. Making sure they put that back on and didn't over torque it.
Okay. That's the Amsoil dual kit. I have not made a video. I've installed one, but have not made a video on it. Oh, what do we got here?
I cleaned this up the other day when I got it home, and this is all wet again. I brake cleaned this whole area when I brought it back from the dealer because they didn't clean it up under here at all.
Jiminy Cricks. Jiminy Cricks. Okay. Bell housing bolts. Let's put you guys up in there. You guys can see exactly what we have to deal with. Trying to get those bolts, the trans, all the way at the top. All right, so we have 2 stud bell housing bolts right here. Oil. This is right where that seam right there is right where transmission fluid was, that seam right there. And that's what prompted for me to, have them take it in for service. So coming back here, they said they had to take the fuel tank down. That's what they said. That's what they said. Okay. I put these in a very specific way. Let's see if they're still in that way. They have a sticker on the other side, so I always try to make sure I put the sticker on the inside. I don't know. I don't feel confident in saying that I think these jokers took the tank. These guys didn't take the tank down. They didn't lower the tank. Those connections right there are in the exact same spot that I put this tank in. The exact same spot. And this was just at the dealer. You would think I'd have a shiny witness mark, let alone, don't you think all that rust would be kind of ground off if that just came off? I'm calling bullshit. And I'm calling this is the stuff between the X, Y, and Z. That's what they told the customer. Did they indicate that on the paperwork? If they indicated that on the paperwork, Ford, with documentation, would agree for M time, mechanics time, actual time needed after the fact to get the transmission out because of an aftermarket component. Okay, whatever you guys say. Yeah, I call BS. They would have had to take that down. And let's see the fuel heater. The fuel heater would have had to have come down too. Did they unzip any of my zip ties downstream? Nope. I see the zip ties down there. I don't know. I'm saying that they didn't take the fuel tank down. You would have plenty of room to get the transmission back. Okay? Plenty of room to get the transmission back with the transfer case on to then drop the engine. You got this much room to go back. You don't need that much room to push the you don't need that much room to push the trans back. You have plenty. Split this in half and you'd have plenty of room to get the transmission out. I call BS. I call BS. Now, that looks like they had that bolt out. See the difference between that bolt that's got, witness mark on it? That looks fresh. This does not look fresh. This looks like when I put it in months ago. Guys, bringing your trucks to the dealer. I feel for you. I don't know what else to say. Lack of cleaning? I want to know really what they did. The mount. What, Mr. Customer, paraphrase what that, the invoice for the trans said. They found what loose?
The mount between clutch pack A and clutch pack B was torqued out of alignment, which caused the leak in the gasket, the rear gasket. And then the valve body was sticking once they put it back together and retested it. Through a wrench light, they couldn't test drive it, so they had to take the valve body out and basically rebuild the valve body. Even though I had no apparent transmission issues other than the leak before I went in.
So is it safe to say that let's give the dealership the benefit of the doubt. Let's say this truck just has 10,000 miles on it and you really have 13, it's not like you put all this mileage on it. Is it safe to say that for 10,000 miles, you have driven this truck flawlessly with no shifting problems, no erratic operation, going through speeds, and hasn't caused any cause for attention?
100%. It's been a rock solid. It's probably been the most powerful Super Duty I've owned out of the 4 that I've had.
All right, guys. I'm going to hang it up because I'm going to tell you I'm not a trans guy. Okay, so all you trans guys out there, all you transmission guys out there, I need you to tell me a fluid leak, because I don't know anything from anything. A fluid leak inside the bell housing. If, capitalized, if I had a fluid leak inside the bell housing, what is the likelihood of having something farther inside the transmission loose or out of spec or not torqued or what have you causing a leak right here and not have any transmission concerns whatsoever? Go to the comments right now and let me know. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm calling BS. But by golly, they sure put a nice looking transmission cooler around here. Nothing but oily residue. Oily residue. So WTF do we look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. It's just I'm not okay with that, dude. Just stop. Just stop. Stop lying to yourself. Stop doing what my old man would say, a half-assed job. And then I got slapped by my mother when I said that because I thought it was half-asked. Because I was asked to do something, you were asked to replace the transmission, and you did a half-assed job. And I didn't realize it was half-assed, but I sure remember that slap right across the face. All right, is this tight? Yeah, that's tight. You can actually see the pan flexing. Look at that. How messed up is that? Wow. All right, so this needs to be thoroughly cleaned. Golly. What's your guys' first impressions?
So this is a lot cleaner than it was when I got it back because the front oil pan and the transcooler had transmission fluid all over it. All on the bottom side of here was all oily. And I was really irritated when I got that home, so I brake cleaned what I could get to, just laying on the ground, so to speak.
All right, course of action. I think we need some Denko brake clean. Make sure to check out our website, rainmanauto.com, so you guys can get some of the best brake clean that we use. I would know no other, but I need a full can because that one is just about empty. And probably should put the straw in it because I want to get in some deep crevasses. Do me a solid. I'm gonna put this guy here like this. All right. Well, that scared me. Okay, I don't think the rubber O-ring seal would be bad in there. This is why I don't like filling from this stupid port. It's because you're filling and checking to see if it leaks at the same time. That's so stupid, man. I don't use that. I'm gonna reference this video in the description so you guys can properly check your transmission fluid the way I did using this port right here. It's a little tight, but a lot easier than doing all of this malarkey and just unnecessariness. All right, get all of this here. Oh yeah, the whole pan is just slimy. You can see the red drip off the bolts. Yeah, it's a reusable gasket. Did he reuse this gasket on this transmission rebuild that he did? Probably. And speaking of gaskets, I just did a 25 tremor. Oh, and this one has it too. Did you guys know that the front diff has a reusable gasket up to 20 times? It's just like if you had the 11.5 Sterling. And this one's got the Dana, but if you had the Sterling, you would have a could be reusable gasket, but I always replace them. That one, anytime I'm taking a diff cover off of a Super Duty, I am now going to be getting this reusable up to 20 times gasket. Forget that silicone, I'm using the gasket. I didn't know if you guys knew that or not. I just did that for the first time. All right, soaking down. Bend this back up. Put the aftermarket pans on. We don't use those anymore. Okay, this nasty trans cross member. Oh yeah. This may not be a big deal to some. And this, you know, there's always two sides to the coin. You know, it's just a truck. It's just an inanimate object. You know, it's not breathing. But when you break it down, we as humans, we rely on these machines to help us make a living. We rely on these machines to bring us pleasure and enjoyment. And when we buy something for how much money Ford charges for these, I would expect, nonetheless, for it to look exactly like it did when it came from the factory. Living testament, living proof, there should be no excuse. I just talked to a guy yesterday. Hold on, I digress. I just talked to a guy yesterday. He called me out of the blue. Somebody calls me from my personal number from the internet. I don't know how the hell that happened. Says he's got a 22.27 and he went to the quarter car wash to wash his truck and the bed was filled up with water and he pulled away and his truck shut off and said no engine oil pressure. What do I think? That has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. Like, what was it sunny out too? What does that matter? How many miles are on this? 150,000. How many? When's the last time you had an oil change? Oh, I think maybe 20,000 miles ago. You did what now, dude? Give me a break, man. Give me a break. So you want me to tell you how much it's gonna be because the dealership's telling you something you think is too expensive? Well, how much do you think it's gonna be if I fix it? $100? $200? Oh, for crying out loud. Some people don't care. Some people are totally oblivious. Some people are updating Grindr and have no idea what's going on. Oh my gosh, is that a gasket? I can reuse it. It's got a tear in it. I can reuse it. Man. Why? Comical. I hope you guys are watching through the length of this, because this is a video I think is going to have some good basis and information for you guys to feast on. What is that? Is that from me? Oh, it better be. I need to get rid of this, and I need light in a very specific spot. I'm gonna zoom in. Does that look like fluid to you right there above this bolt boss? Probably didn't clean it. Why would he clean the inside of the bell housing? You know, that doesn't make sense. I don't know, right? Yeah, I feel I still see, look at that shininess in that gap right there. I still see fluid remnants in that gap. I'm sorry. You tell me what you think. I'm looking right here. Either they didn't clean it, or there's still oil or something in that bell housing that's leaking. So, what do you do in this situation? Here we are, a month in, and we're gonna have to brake clean this several times and ensure that we don't have another leak. judging by the condition of how everything was when it came in, I'm hoping, for the customer's sake, that the guy just didn't clean it off and was updating grinder. Bell housing, top of the oil pan. I just flooded it. Well, I think this will be a time to end it. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Very frustrated with Ford service. Supposed to be quality job one, but 10, 15 years down the tubes.
Not every dealership is like this. I worked very hard to remove the stigma that the dealerships had, that they still have, because I believe the dealership was someplace to come and not have any worries. I'm gonna take care of everything, it's gonna be fixed, it's gonna be like it should be. I wish there were more like that on the other side of the fence, because these types of situations don't need to happen. This is just one situation here in Detroit. How many of you across the country are experiencing this? I want accountability. I want transparency. I want accountability and transparency to be with the companies that we work with. If something is wrong, let's talk about it. Let's create a solution. So many times in this industry, this 25-year experience that I have gained, so many times things get swept under the rug, or something gets missed and is not documented because nobody wants to know what goes on between X, Y, and Z. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I want you to tell me in the comments if you guys have had an experience like this, and if you actually knew what happened between your X, Y, and Z when your investment went into the dealership. I appreciate you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, sub, share. Let me know if I can inspect your truck and hopefully not give you any more bad news. I'll see you guys later.